7:24, a recovering alcoholic from rugby is launching a campaign to open a new alcohol-free social venue in the area. Similar night spots already exist, apparently, in Nottingham and London, but this could be the first dry bar in the West Midlands. Carl Newton is 31. He's now 28 weeks sober, and he's with me live in the studio. Morning, Carl.
Good morning, Carl.
Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you very much. I'm very, very reluctant to give myself praise, but yeah, it's going well.
How have the 28 weeks been? Difficult?
Very difficult. The first problem was obviously admitting that there was a problem, and I went and knocked on the door of the local recovery partnership, which I'll tell you a bit more about in a minute because they're based in Coventry and Rugby and Nuneaton. And it was kind of like I knocked on the door and I said, look, I've got a problem, I need a bit of help. And
what got you to that point? Because you were saying you were in denial before that. What tipped you over the edge to say?
I think it was some people have like an immediate rock bottom where something really drastic happens, but for me it kind of gradually happened over the space of about a month. I kind of like lost a job, lost a relationship. I noticed a couple of things going astray.
All through drink?
Basically, yeah, the consequences of drinking and the deceptive habits you can pick up and the way of letting people down you can pick up because you become self-indulgent in yourself.
Before you got to that point, did you realise, I mean, the way in my own mind, and touch wood when I say this, but I'm fortunate enough never to have been in the position that you're in.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people it is just there, but for the grace of God. I do wonder whether, you said about it being in denial, but whether there's a recognition in your own mind that you get to a point and you wake up one day and you think, I need alcohol more than I like alcohol and I can't do without it. It's realising you're the other side of that line.
That's something they call physical dependency, which if you're heavily drinking plays a lot of a part, and I know a lot of service users up at the rugby centre that are in similar sort of positions.
You were there, were you?
I didn't. Thankfully, I've not had the worst case of it I've heard about, but I certainly did have a bit of withdrawal shakes at first, and it was very hard to get over that initial step of getting sober sort of thing. But I did. I think it was 10 or 11 days sober, which took all my power, and a lot of it I spent 20 hours a day sleeping just to avoid any temptation. And then I went onto a type of medication called antabuse, which is basically if you have any alcohol
makes you nauseous,
or alcohol touches your skin, it can be anything from an immediate hangover times by 10 of the worst hangover you've ever had to sort of, if your immune system's not strong enough or you've got heart problems, it can be seizures and all sorts of heart failure and problems like that, worst case scenario. I
was fascinated that you're here for this call that you're making for an alcohol-free social venue. Because there's part of me that thinks, what a great idea. Another part of me thinks, though, don't you have to drastically change your social outlook and your social life?
Problem, modern society.
To do things that don't involve sitting in a bar.
I was with my family at the weekend and friends, and I said, sort of, when you go on a night out, what do you primarily go out for? And it's get drunk, get morsel.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
everybody says it just really casually, don't they?
What happened to the days when we went out to socialise or
see my mates, have a game of darts, play pool, talk?
It's got to be more than getting drunk constantly, surely.
So aren't you tempted to say, actually, what I should do in my situation is change my behaviour so that I'll go bowling or I'll go out for a meal or whatever, but I'll avoid that bar culture. Isn't it a temptation to do? You're trying to want to almost flirt with the devil, aren't you, in a way?
It is. It takes a strong person, and to this day I don't know how I managed to do it, but I normally have an exit strategy, and I'll say to my friends, I'll come out with you, but when you lot start getting drunk, if I start getting tempted, I'm just going to do a Houdini and I'm out of there. You won't see me. Don't bug my phone. I'll catch up with you the next morning. Yeah. If you're lucky enough, I'll do the hungover lot of you as a breakfast. But just leave me be, because that's my way of coping.
What's how far advanced now are these plans? You got these plans to have this alcohol? I didn't realise there's one in Nottingham. There's bars in London
there's bar in Nottingham. There's a couple of places in London. One's called Redemption Bar and one's Russell Brand's Cruise Cafe, but that's more of a daytime sort of thing. And there's others opening in sort of Newcastle and Brighton as well, I believe.
Where would you like to see?
Well, I think of like this sort of region. You've got the sort of Birmingham, Coventry region. It's like the second city, and London are doing it and other cities are doing it. But for the like of it, looking at Google, there's nothing like that in this region. So we need to drinking this region, ideally.
Keep me posted, will you? Let us know how things work out. Cole Newton, 31, 28 weeks sober, joining us on the show this morning. We see Coventry and Warwickshire. Let's get the news headlines. Here's Paul Marriott.
We've been told of several incidents in Coventry over the last few days where car fuel tanks have been drilled for the petrol and diesel inside. Police have so far confirmed one incident, but here at BBC Coventry and Warwickshire, we've heard of drivers in Alderman's Green, Holyhead Road, Camden and other parts of the city who've reported similar crimes. MPs will hold an emergency debate in the Commons this afternoon on the migrant crisis. It follows David Cameron's announcement yesterday the UK would take an extra 20,000 Syrian refugees over the next 5 years. A recovering alcoholic from Rugby, as we've just been hearing, is campaigning to open an alcohol-free social venue in the area to rival establishments serving drink. Carl Newton got help from the Coventry Recovery Partnership and says the idea occurred to them after that. And the Met Office is giving people the chance to name storms affecting the UK and Ireland. It hopes that by doing this it'll help raise awareness of severe weather and improve public safety.
Thanks for that. I'm just impressed with that guy. What a fantastic fella, being able to do that. You know, the old personal journey as well. I do wonder though whether, like I said to him, whether the idea would be better to say, well, I'm going to do something completely devoid of the bar kind of side of things. You know what I mean?
Thought, he's got an idea. He's got a thought there, because really there isn't anywhere, is there? If you go into any cafe, there's usually booze somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it's crossed over the other way, isn't it? You're right. I mean, you go into a bar and they serve coffees. You go into a cafe and they serve alcohol. So.
Yeah, and so, you know, the temptation is always there. So he's right. You need somewhere where the temptation isn't there. And it's like education, isn't it? There's other ways to enjoy yourself.
What really irks me, we didn't get time to touch on it, is how much they charge for... We were talking about this in the meeting after the show yesterday. How much they charge for soft drinks?
Oh, don't get me going on that one. Don't get me going on that one.
What? And the markup, apparently, on soft drinks as well is... you know, if they've got one of these, like, syrup containers with and they put I don't know what they add. It's like for the fizzy drinks. So they have, like, the syrup.
Yes, know what you mean. Yeah.
I think it costs them about 3p every time they do a shot of one of those.
And they put the sparkling water in.
And they charge about 650 quid for it or something, is it? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, $2.50. Went us at the weekend, went to a pizza place.
What, for a cokey kind of drink or something?
And we had we had the fizzy one, the Pepsi.
Right.
That type of stuff. I don't think it was something else. But anyway, $2.50.
That's outrageous, isn't it, really? Do you get a biscuit with that?
Nope. Not even a straw.
That's my latest question. How much is that? Do I get a biscuit with that?